I sincerely have no idea whether or not it'll fit in there. Today I'm gonna try to explain why you need a matching spare on your Toyota Land Cruiser 250 or any off-roader for that matter. If you don't follow my channel, and maybe you should because I'm a recovering BMW addict. I purchased my 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser 250 last year, 5,000 miles on it. 1,000 miles ago, I installed a set of 17-inch method wheels with a 35mm offset. On it, I mounted a set of 285/70/17 tires, but I skipped on replacing the spare. And the decision behind not replacing the spare was the following. Technically, I'm not gonna be off-roading this car, and even if I catch a flat, I can just use a fix-a-flat kit, or I can just install the spare. Even though it's small diameter, I can still get to where I need to go. That was my thinking until the following happened. I was up in Stowe, Vermont on a snowboarding trip with my family, and when I went to pick up the car, I decided to do some donuts in a parking lot like any normal person would. So I did some donuts. I got a little too crazy. I forgot how heavy the car is, and I slid into a snowbank. Now, it wasn't a very hard hit, but what happened was the tire got pushed, and I got pushed so hard that it actually came off the rim. So all of a sudden, I started getting a massive air leak on this side, right around the perimeter of the rim. Even though these wheels have these ridges that technically prevent your tire from slipping off the rim, but guess what? If the impact is hard enough, it'll definitely do that. Not that I was freaking out, but I was concerned about having a mismatched tire, slightly smaller in diameter, on my 400-mile journey back home. I could have probably deflated the other 3 tires, but I was really not comfortable with it. Luckily, before that decision was even made, I realized that maybe I could drive the car and maybe the tire would pop itself back on, and guess what? It really did. The pressure dropped to about 15 PSI, but it remained that way, and the tire popped itself back on. So I was really, really lucky that I didn't have to replace the tire right there on the ski slope. It was cold, it was windy, it wasn't a comfortable situation. So I got really, really lucky. But that situation made me realize that I really wanted a spare tire that matches the set that I have installed on this car. So this is where this wheel and tire comes in, exactly identical to what I have here. It's a 5th wheel and tire. And what's going to be tricky is trying to figure out whether or not it fits underneath the car. There's a very finite amount of space underneath there. Some people were able to fit larger tires. I just don't know if this size will be able to fit. So today, we're going to find out. By the way, I am going to be putting the new tire and wheel on this side. I'm going to be replacing this because I really don't want that scratch being visible. I'm kind of OCD like that. And one of the benefits of having a matching spare is the fact that I don't have to carry the OEM nuts. Because of the fact that the holes in the aftermarket wheels are not big enough to accommodate these, I had to carry the OEM ones just in case I caught a flat. In this case, I can save myself some weight, the weight that will be added by the weight of the spare, and I don't have to carry the extra ones. And inside, I would say it's as expected. It's very dirty because I've been driving this car quite a lot during the winter. The rotor itself shows little sign of use. There's very little rust. The brake pads still have plenty of meat left. Again, 5,200 miles. Obviously, the wheel wells are very dirty, but the actual engine bay down there is pretty clean. I guess it stays protected by the wheel and tire. Other than that, I just did an oil change, so the car is good to go another 5,000 miles. Yes, I do my oil changes every 5,000 miles. I did my first one at 500, second one at 5,200. The next one will be 10,000 miles. By far the worst part of swapping wheels and tires on a Land Cruiser, and I guess all the new Toyotas, is the fact that you have to recalibrate the sensors, which takes about 30 minutes of driving. Looks good. I sincerely have no idea whether or not it'll fit in there. But anyways, let's get the OEM spare down. To do it, in the trunk, you've got this little pouch here. Let's get it out. The idea is to take this tool through this flap that's in here, you extend it, stick it in there, and turn. And as you turn, that would release the spare. Ever seen a car poop a spare? That's what it is. Let's pull out the brand new spare. By the way, this is what a brand new spare looks like. It's never been taken out after you drive it a little bit. At least here it is kind of clean, but it sits like that. Anyways, let's compare quickly the two tires. Height-wise, obviously it's a lot higher. Width-wise, it's a lot wider, 265 versus 285. But you know what? We have no choice. Under the belly of the beast, this is what it looks like. Wow, there's so much more space here. Maybe for an extra fuel tank if you didn't have the spare. But since we do want the spare, this is where it is. You've got little stoppers here and there. So let's see how it all fits. Align it. I think the idea is to center it as good as possible so it doesn't slide out on us. All right, let's get ready to crank. Seems to be working. So far, so good. Do we leave it like that? All right, before I fully crank it, let's see how much room I have. The answer is easy, not much. It just goes up. Huh. Ground clearance is gonna be limited. So the tire fits, and it fits very well. And people say, before I even show you the issue, people say that you should absolutely get a matching spare, especially when you're going off-roading. And some spares fit, some don't. This particular one fits. Now, what they don't tell you is that if you don't have a lift, your ground clearance is gonna suck. So, it fits in the cavity. Yep, you see, everything fits well. You can see it rests in there, but look how low it hangs. Now, I don't know what I was expecting. Obviously, the tire is wider, so it's gonna hang a little lower, but I'm gonna show you from the front. So this is your capable off-roader. If you go under, yep, it's high. See that tire? It's gonna be hard to see, but it is now at the lowest point. Yeah, that looks like about maybe an inch. Let's look at it from the back. Maybe I overreacted. Let's see. So, let's go down here. This is it. I guess we're gonna have to measure it eventually. Yeah, it definitely hangs lower than the diff. So, if you're off-roading with your full-size spare, the lowest point is gonna be your full-size spare. This is it. Kind of cool that we got it fitted. Kind of disappointing that it fits like that. All right, I'm gonna torque the wheel and go reset the tire pressure monitoring sensors. Yeah, 30-minute drive just to reset the sensors. Good job, Toyota. And again, this is what it looks like. Kind of a diaper that sticks out from the bottom. I'm gonna take more videos for you so you can enjoy it with the music at the end of this video. It kind of looks funny when you look at it from this side. Definitely looks like the car is lower in the back, because it is. And now I understand why some serious off-roaders or owners of off-road vehicles get that hitch-mounted spare, because this is kind of silly. It's funny, you try to modify a car, you go one way, and then there are always setbacks, and then you have to modify something else. So maybe the lesson here is not to touch anything and just keep things stock, but that is just not me. I can't leave anything stock. So in this case, I just have to figure out what works best for me. Curious to hear what you have to say. I love to listen to people's suggestions. So if you have any leave them down below. And if you have any questions, leave them below. I'll answer every single one of them. And yeah, I mean, we shouldn't be sad because it's a modification and now we're more consistent. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.